Today, we're going to look at what a lot of you are going to need, focusing on stretching out these hips, sort of resetting those from all the sitting that you do throughout the day, either in the car, at your desk, trying to get those back into shape for golf, as well as the neck and those terrible rounded shoulders from sitting here and doing this all day. All right? We know that we want the body to function a certain way, but we have to put in the time, the work, the exercises, just to get it back to where it needs to be, and then we have the additional things that we have to do to get it primed to fire and to hit that golf ball a long way. All right? So first thing we want to do, we're going to do some simple little sumo squats. Feet are nice and wide. We're going to drop down as low as we can go. You can see I use my elbows here to sort of push against it, and then from there, give me a nice big turn and another nice big turn. As we're dropping down, we're opening up those hips. All right, so we're having to engage. We're also using those glutes, but then as we go to turn, I'm using this hand to push against it, and now I'm opening up while I'm turning. So this is really going to mimic that golf swing, except for I've got you all bound up and very restricted. So we're not going to see a lot whenever it comes to our turn, because that's not what we're focused on today, but you're going to feel a big stretch in through those hips, pop right back up, and repeat. We'll just go through our nice little set of 10. This is a little bit too aggressive for you. Don't have your feet out as wide just yet, or even if they're extremely tight, just drop down into that squat and come up. Eliminate that turn, all right? Now the next one we're going to do is a Spider-Man. Same thing, we're going to see, I'm going to take it out to this side. We're going to see that we're opening up the hip. I'm trying to get everything nice and low. Pop it up to this side first so you can see here. I'm wanting to drop everything down below this knee because this is going to be just like my squat, okay? So we've got it in through from there. We've got the heel on the ground, nice and braced, upright. And we'll take it back to this other side so you can see. And from here, now I want to open up and get that nice big turn there as well. Same thing, really pulling, turning, opening up. So it's basically going to be a nice, big, loaded backswing. And then we're going through for our extension on the follow through, hammering out that other side. This next one's going to be pretty aggressive for a lot of you. Hitting the piriformis. We can do a standard figure 4, but what we want to do here, I want to put this down on the ground. I've got it pretty much straight across. I'm going to hop up on this leg. From here, I'm going to try to put my right hip bone down onto this left ankle and just dropping that down. You can hold just for a couple of seconds. And what I like to have you do is go out to that side, back up and over, and down and out to that other side. All right? I'm going to show you from this angle so you can see just a little bit better. I'll do the same leg. So all I'm doing is sitting down. I've got this up. You're going to see that I'm going to hold it. I'm up onto that, and then dropping down from there, and then we can do our nice little turn each way. You don't have to hold for a long time. 3 seconds is typically good enough. A lot of you who do the online training with me have seen this. Holding for 3, coming off, relaxing, going back down, holding for that 3, trying to work through that range of motion, increase it, work through that stretch. Now, the next one we want to do, keeping the line still with the hips, but with those turns, we're going down. You can even take a knee. The chest needs to be very upright on this one, and we're leaning forward. Now, all we're trying to do is stretch out our hip flexors in through here, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to go up with my arm and turn towards the knee, in this instance the left knee, so that I'm rotating in through that midsection to sort of pull. You can even go from here and do a side bend, but I found that the more you side bend, lean back, and turn, the bigger the stretch we get. I definitely don't want to hold this for very long, okay? Very short period, stretching it out, trying to keep it almost dynamic to where we're in, nice little stretch letting off. I'm wanting that to still be able to fire. And a lot of times, when we do a static stretch, we're shutting that muscle down to where it doesn't like to function as well. And we don't want that, okay? We'd switch over, do that same. So by now, those hips are probably feeling nice and loose, really starting to work. What we're going to do here is work on, we said that upper body, we're going to look at some cervical stars. So extremely straightforward, stand, sit, whatever you want to do. We're going to look up as high as you can go, really pushing and activating, and then down as low as you can go, and just repeat. After that, we want to look over to the left, over to the right. And again, really trying to push, so I'm always thinking, we have this crease on our shirts. I'm trying to where I feel like I'm turning all the way past that, all right? Once we're done with up and down, we're going to do our nice simple angles. So I'm up and over, down, repeating. And all this is doing is freeing up the neck, plus adding in a little bit of, again, activation, making sure that it's working. We're not just shutting it down. Last but not least for you, we're going to do some golf posture, eyes, and we've got these arms we want to lift up. And one of the things that I like to have a lot of my golfers do is as they're lifting up, trying to extend, almost like a Superman, so that they are firing down in between those shoulder blades while they're activating in through those traps, okay? So the lower traps are going to be responsible for that lifting motion. A lot of yours are inhibited or extremely weak, again, because it's always slouched down into here and they're never having to actually activate, let alone while hands are up over their head. This is really going to show up in that golf swing whenever you start working on that shoulder plane, trying to stay in the posture, but getting turned to here, versus a lot of you like to stand up and sort of come to here, okay? So if you're that person, that's a great exercise for you. But overall, we've looked at some simple things that you can do daily for those hips, as well as in that upper and mid-back to try and help out with that posture, reset the body so that we can help out with that golf game whenever it comes time for the speed and power.